I feel like because you're doing a street dance style, right, kind of under the umbrella, it is important for you to understand Black culture, Black history, as in the race, as in the humans. Stick with me here, because what it is that you need to start understanding was the mindset at the time. And if you understand that, like genuinely, just as a sidebar, if you really understand the culture and history of the people at the time, you understand what's going on now too. You get it, like gotcha, easy peasy. So it's really important for me, because obviously I'm a white girl who comes from a competitive freestyle disco, Latin American, ballet, even contemporary background. Street dance has a different approach. And I don't just mean street dance as in like hip hop. I mean like things that get birthed from social dancers have actually got a feeling and a culture behind them. The people that created them are exceptionally important to study. Whereas like ballet, I don't know who created it, and whether you know where they lived and how they felt doesn't affect how great your technique is going to be. However, it doesn't work the same with things that come from a social dance at all, because you'll have technique and then it goes way out of losing the essence and the soul of the dance. I say this with all the love in the world, but like you'll notice that if there's any social dance that becomes exceptionally competitive and becomes very streamlined and commercial, it kind of gets taken and twisted and it loses its passion and its soul. Like just I for one, like if you look at the international cha-cha that happens in big, couple room competitions around the world, it's lost the cha-cha that the original cha-cha had. And if anyone is a Latin dancer, your samba's lost that too, because every samba looks like a cha-cha, looks like a rumba, it's all freaking same. But that's what happens when people lose the essence, or they lose the feeling, and they lose the culture. So you have got so much history and culture coming at you for the next 5 weeks to help you grasp the mindset. If you think of an actor, before they go into a role in a movie, they immerse themselves in who their character is. And some people even go one step further and they go like real method acting, and they try and embody and completely embrace who this character is in their every single day life, and they experience things to kind of be like, how would this person really respond? How would this person move? How would this person behave? How would this person's gestures be? The same thing is what I'm going to be asking of you for the next just 5 weeks, is to really embody the stories, the cultures, the people, and the character that locking is birthed from. You can honestly do as many wrist rolls as you want. You're not going to look like a locker, you're going to look like someone doing a wrist roll. So this is something that I really want to spend some time on. So is character. It's always been this way, but the people of the time, the Black African Americans in America, obviously, they were in a very deep struggle, still are, but we're in an exceptionally deep, pained time and season of their life. And music and dance was an exceptional, expressive outburst of love and joy and life. So they could go to places where they were, just embraced and encouraged and loved for who they were. And this is very similar to the story of like Whacking in Vogue. It was expressive, and it was very much like expressing and embracing who they were in an environment that was like, you're great, we love you, we're here for you. And I want you to think about what that would feel like. If you're anybody who isn't maybe in a minority, or somebody who gets bullied or oppressed or anything like of the sort, even the gay culture of the time now, even the LGBTQ, like anyone like that, or maybe you're body shamed, maybe you're age shamed, anything, sexism, anything. I want you to feel what that feels like. You know that feeling when you're just like, this is not okay. Why is this even happening? This is not okay. And I want you to think, you know what, if I went to a place And everyone in that room, we were all just okay. We were just like, you know, whoever you were, we're like, good on you. Great, like, yeah. That relief of like, I don't have to pretend like I am anyone. I can just be myself. That's a great feeling to have. The people at the time as well were, a lot of the TV stuff was very just white. I mean, a lot still is, but like, it was just very white. So if they were going to have a music show or a dance show or like having artists and stuff, it was generally like just the white people. And then there was this incredible program called Soul Train that was created. And this was, wow, Don Cornelius was the host, and he would have different people like Aretha Franklin and James Brown. And I mean, Soul Train stayed for a very long time, but there was a season where they would invite dancers to come and be on the studio and dance to whoever's music was playing. And then they would have segments when they would do little dance contests, and they would do segments when they would have a Soul Train line, which is when people made two lines on either side. And we do it sometimes still today, like, I don't know, maybe we don't. I'm old, showing my age. So they would do that, they'd line up, and then two people, one person would go down the middle, and then when you're finished, you kind of just join the line, and everybody went. And it was about showing your individuality, and this is where locking was seen a lot more, because Don and his friends would actually be on Soul Train. They were just the dancers in the kind of the group that was just dancing. And people were watching the show and they'd be like, huh, that's really cool. So, sorry, there was a noise there and I just freaked out for a second. Okay, but anyway, back to what I said. So I want you to think, imagine it's the same thing today. When people see someone and they're doing like, I don't know, this thing, then everyone's like, eh, oh, and they're going past each other like, eh, you know? Do they? I think they do. Again, showing my age. So it's the same thing. They'd be like, oh, yeah, and then, oh, this is the way that we dance. This is the new move, and this is the new move. And it was just people kind of catching on like wildfire. So I need you to embrace any step that you're given. Don't make it only technique. Obviously, we're going to drill technique. Obviously, we're going to go through the steps and be like, this is where the hands are placed. But then you drill it over and over and over till it is muscle memory. And then you chuck it out the window and you forget it and you just dance. To get to that state where you just dance and you can chuck the overthinking and the analyzing and the critique and the judgments. Yes, I'm fixing my fringe at the center. But when you can chuck all of that out and be free and just express and dance like you're at a party and you're just having fun and you're comfortable in your own skin and you're just comfortable in your space and you're not trying to prove anything and you're not trying to impress anybody. You're just like, you know what? And you're just expressing yourself, who you actually are. When they went down the Soul Train line, they were just like, ha, coming for ya. Hey, ooh, gonna see this move today. Ooh, I wore my Lego stuff today, and they had their smart shoes. And they were just like feeling themselves. You need to feel yourself. If you don't feel yourself, how do you expect anyone else to kind of feel what you're doing? If you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect anyone else to believe in you? Often, and in fact, this is how the world works, this is how life works. If you don't first accept and love yourself, the world is like, they can walk all over you. So you need to start defining who you are as a person, as a dancer, and as a locker. So to understand a locker, you need to actually just immerse yourself in the culture for a bit. And sometimes, and this is what personally helped me, I had to imagine myself as a 1970s Michelle. I was like, cool. I was that one white girl that was like the only white girl in the hood, in the areas. I was like, cool, I'm gonna be that one white girl that was there on Soul Train. There were none, I don't think there were any, but I'm gonna imagine if I was there, I probably would have been there. And I would have been like, this is such lekker music, man. And like, how would I see a person next to me dancing? Not someone that I'm watching on a camera or a video or a screen or on YouTube. Like, imagine that what you're seeing was actually happening next to you, happening right here. So I'm seeing this gorgeous girl and she's here. And then I'm like, you're gonna naturally wanna like kind of copy, and you're like, yeah. Try and feel like I'm now gonna put myself in you. And I wanna feel what you're feeling, and I wanna move the way you're moving. So, how am I gonna do that? Yeah, that's what I want you to do. So I've got a ton of videos. We're gonna go through the soul dances. We're gonna go through, well, you might have gone through them already. So you get soul dances, you're going to learn what they are, you're going to watch what they were, and then I need you to try and get your mind in the game. If you don't do this, I promise you, this is all a waste. It feels weird, but this is the work that we need to do. Okay, so you're going to watch, and then I need you to try and figure out keywords that kind of get you the feeling. I started getting gestures that would help me kind of get in. Like, I get this little, if I click here, I feel snappy and I feel like I'm in that zone. And then the other thing that I do is I imagine I'm wearing a hat and I'm looking like under my hat. And again, the other one is that jazz band that I keep talking about. So I imagine that I'm this. If I really was that, not me faking that I am, me actually, if I was me actually in the 70s, what would I feel and move like? Yeah? And if I listen to the music, which is what you're going to do this week, I'm going to give you 5 songs every single week. I need you to listen to the music and go, what feeling do I get? And how would I move? If this was my jam in the 70s, when I'm feeling like I just want to have fun and the world sucks, but this is my happy place. That one. That's the you that I need you to create in the next couple of weeks. The one that understands where the star comes from. When you understand where it comes from, then we define who you are, not define, but you embrace who you are, and then you go, cool, how do they meet? How do they teach each other? What do they give to each other? And that is the journey that we're going to go on. So, looking at the soul dances that you've learnt, what do you feel comes from these styles of dance? That feeling has to become a keyword that you literally write and you keep it somewhere. So when you are dancing, if you're doing technique, like I go funky, but for me funky means so much. It's not just like, oh, funky. It's like, it's funky, man. Like, it's my blues. Like, I feel it in my skull and in my neck here. So the word funky for me makes like a very strong feeling. So when I'm doing wrist rolls and stuff like that, and I think funky, instead of me just doing a technique, I'm like I have a way more of like a character and an awareness and a presence, and at the same time I have defined who I am. I'm a very high energy, very cheeky, very bubbly. So when I dance, I have like a spark to me. So I have a sparky funk. So because I've gone through this process myself, I know what is Michelle when she's locking, and I know how to get the locking feel, but still have the Michelle feel. That's what you're going to do this week. So go through these things. Your assignment will help you break this down. You need to get your keywords, you need to get your soul dance on, and you need to start getting method acting.